Welcome to the Athletics and Recreation Center on the campus of Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, Canada, for the U19 NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup. It is semi-final Friday here in Kingston. It is the host, Team Canada, taking on Team Mexico. Canada finishing atop of Pool B with a 2-0 record with victories against Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic. Mexico finishing second in Pool A and crossing over in that semifinal with victories against Puerto Rico and Venezuela, but a 3-0 loss against the United States. The United States coming away with a semifinal victory earlier here tonight as they took down the Dominican Republic in straight sets. This one deciding who's going to take on the Dominican in the bronze or who's going to take on Team USA for gold. And starting us off is Remy Katojo. Pass comes in tight to the net on serve receive, and the block is there, and the first point of the match is a double block with Abby Wasutik and Sydney Bell. And a Canadian block been excellent all tournament long and making a statement there to start off the match. Another serve here from Katojo. She has a deep float serve that really pulls the setter off the net if it's not a perfect pass. Set to the right side. Bell cuts cross. No contact on the block. Can't quite find the sideline, and it goes out. The attacking error point goes to Mexico. And that'll bring Ashley Morales back to the service line for Mexico, the Mexican setter. Passed up on receive by Zabjak to the outside. Good cross-court swing by Matthews, but it's dug up well. Set to the left side, rolled over the top this time and picked up by Gent. Second ball taken here, goes to the left side. Good cut down the line by Torres. As Angelica Torres able to find a seam in the Canadian block down the line this time. And that'll give Mexico the first lead of the opening set for them. Overpass on serve receive and just going to get tipped home as Naomi Cruz there to read it on serve receive. And just tipped back over the net. The point goes to Mexico. They're up 3-1 to start off this opening set. Deep float serve. Passed up comes in tight. Katojo having to adjust. Kept it alive. No, Canada going to get called on the net as Sydney Bell had to adjust and clip the net on the way through. As the service run here for Morales has put Canada under pressure a little bit here. Canada going a perfect 6-0 in terms of sets won and lost in the pool play. Had a slow start to start the tournament. They were down 5-1 to start their tournament, but have responded incredibly well ever since. And find a way to side out that time on the swing from the right side by Bell. Brings the deficit to 2. They trail 4-2. And Emerson Matthews will go back to the service line here for Canada. Overpass on receive. Not quite actually an overpass, but not the cleanest of delivery on first ball. Gets caught up in the tape, and not much Morales can do on that one. As Isabella Ocampo taking responsibility for that missed touch on serve receive. We'll see where Matthews goes on this serve. They go right back to Ocampo. It's a cleaner pass this time, though, by Ocampo. Torres swings down the line, but it clips the antenna. And the attacking error from Mexico has tied this set up at 4. So it was 4 straight points for Mexico after Canada opened the set with the first point. It has now been 3 in a row for Canada. We're on level terms. Deep float serve by Matthews, passed up and received that time by Rada. And a great swing back the other way, but it's going to be out of play on the attack. as it goes wide. The swing was there from Angelica Torres, but can't quite find the court. The point goes to Canada. They're up 5-4. Float serve coming for Matthews. Passed up again by Ocampo, back to the right side. Swing by Torres. Oh, swing back to the left side, finds the baseline as Zabjak gets her first point of the match. Good find there by Remy Katojo to get that ball high into the outside pin and allow Sofia Zabjak to go to work. 5 straight points here for Canada. They're up 6-4 with the first of 2 opening set technical timeouts looming here. The first to 8. Set to the left side and a good swing this time by Cruz as Naomi Cruz sees a bit of a gap in the block as Bell and Wasutik were a little bit off the net on their block and allows the pace of that attack to get inside the hands of the block setup and goes down to the Canadian side of the net. And it's 6-5 with a top serve coming here. Takes a bit of pace off and can't quite find it. That one looked like it was a little bit off from the beginning from Angelica Torres. And that'll bring Abby Wasutik back to the service line. Canada up 7-5. That'll bring Bukovkin back into the front row as Wasutik gives one back on the service error, and that'll allow Ashlyn Gent to come back onto the floor, as will Kiara Ramirez for Mexico. As Brenda Esquivel back to serve now for Mexico, trying to draw level here in the early stages of this opening set, the semifinal. Katojo to the left side. Zabjak cuts down the line, able to scramble to get there though is Torres off the dig from Morales. Canada runs it again into the middle this time. An excellent free ball transition for Canada, and really tough to slow down Maya Bukovkin. So much pace on that attack coming through, and perfect free ball transition for Canada to run the middle. And despite that free ball transition being the opportunity for the middle to get run, it is tough to slow it down. And again, a great attack from Maya Bukovkin takes us to the first of 2 technical timeouts. Again, in the international game, 2 technical timeouts of a minute apiece at 8 and at 16. Plus the 2 formal timeouts that each team has the opportunity to take. Again, this is the second of 2 semifinals for a spot in the championship game tomorrow. First serve scheduled for 4 o'clock. We will have the 6th place matchup taking place at 12 noon between Costa Rica and Puerto Rico. The bronze medal match will feature the Dominican Republic and the loser of this matchup. And of course, the gold medal match will take place, as we mentioned, at 4 o'clock. The victor of this one taking on Team USA. Passed up on receive, set into the middle, and a good cut, but it's picked up well by Bell. Staying on top of the ball, rolls into a recycle there is Zabjak. Zabjak will go again this time, down the line, great dig, no! Good contact on the ball, but Zabjak recycles on the first chance and then gets the shot she was looking for. And a change of pace on the second swing gives Canada a 3-point advantage. It's 9-6. Set to the right side, and a great response though from Naomi Cruz. Excellent set that time by Ashley Morales, going against the grain of the flight of the ball on receive. Flips it back to Cruz, and a good lane to swing through. And it's a side out, ending the run for Canada. A deep float serve though, passed up by Zabjak. Pass to the outside, Zabjak cuts down the line, and Sofia Zabjak able to navigate through where the defense was set up. Takes a bit of pace off the ball as to not have it float out the back, but enough to get through the block, and it's a great swing again by Zabjak. She's been excellent in this tournament for Team Canada. Scrambling to keep it alive. Great job to stay on top of the ball that time by Isabella Ocampo. It was a bit scrambly on first and second ball there for Mexico, but instead of just a free ball over or a roll shot, Ocampo stays with it, swings hard and swings away. And goes off the hands there of Gent and out of play. That's 10-8. Passed up by Zabjak. Gent able to get there on second ball. Great forearm set to the outside. It recycles off the swing from Matthews. Matthews, second chance. Great dig, though, out of the back row for Mexico. To the right side. Turns into a bit of a C-ball swing, tipped over by Katojo. Swing into the middle. Good flush there, but kept alive defensively for Canada. Excellent job there by Bell. They fake the step around. No swing through. You saw Torres sort of leaning back on that one. Set a little bit outside, and Torres wasn't able to kind of use her momentum to run into the attack. Instead of going north-south, was moving a little bit more east-west. Can't get a full scope of power in behind that. It goes into the net. Attacking error there for Mexico. Point to Canada. Set to the left side, this time off the top of the block. They're going to say no. Mexico looking for it. 4-point edge now for Canada, as they lead 12-8. Serve goes into the net. Gives a point back to Mexico. It is 12-9. Katojo to the right side, and a good swing that time by Wasutik. Canada's been great running the step-arounds with their middles when Katojo's in the front row, and they get Wasutik isolated on that right side pin. Was very tight to the pin, so not a ton of real estate for Wasutik to swing through, but she's able to find the hands off the block. And a tactical tool that time by Abby Wasutik. Point goes to Canada. Great swing through the block that time, though, by Torres. In a position to pick it up there was Zabjak, so able to find the window in the Canadian block, exactly where Zabjak should have been in her defensive location. Just a great swing by Torres. And the point goes to Mexico. It's 13-10. Set to the right side, off the block this time on the right side pin from Naomi Cruz. And it's 13-11. Float serve upcoming, off the hands of Zabjak. And back within one, it's 13-12. So lots of pace on these serves on both sides of the court. And it's allowed Mexico to get back within one. Played up there by Zabjak. Good swing by Wasutik. And a great response for Mexico. Second ball set that time in a perfect location, in tight to the tape. And Coach Gina Schmidt going to take a timeout here for Canada and talk things over. It's been a 4-point run back for Mexico. And still 3 points to push for each side to get to the second tech timeout. But an excellent second ball delivery that time for Mexico. And just getting up and swinging away. Has tied this one back up. We're at 13 points apiece. Here in the early stages. Coming out of the timeout, Ashley Morales continuing to serve. Passed up by Gent, tipped over the top in tight to the net. Staying clear that time though was Bell. Kept alive by Gent, forearm set by Katojo to the outside, and a great swing by Matthews. Off the top of the block and out of play. Great find on the forearm set that time by Remy Katojo, and it's a great side out for Canada coming out of the timeout. And now have retaken the lead. It's 14-13. Float serve coming. Good pass and receive. And a swing into the middle, but what a block that time. Wasutik with some support by Bell. But what timing that time by Abby Wasutik. And two huge momentum boosting points for Canada coming out of the timeout. We'll see if they can keep it rolling here. Pulled off the net as Morales, set to the left side, swings down the line, and what a response by Naomi Cruz. Sees a window on that left side pin, turns down the line, and executes perfectly. And a great opening set for both of these teams continuing here, 15-14. And a missed touch again on the spin serve from Angelica Torres, her second that's gone wide of the court. This is going to take us to the tech timeout, as that'll bring, again, the teams to the bench for the 16-point technical timeout. And it looks as though Brooke Fermaniuk's going to come in to serve for Abby Wasutik. We've seen Fermaniuk come in as a serving sub for Wasutik a few times throughout the course of the tournament so far, and has done an excellent job in that role. And Fermaniuk has had a set as a left side attacking option as well. And all 12 roster players for Canada getting in their opening tournament victory against Costa Rica. Fermaniuk, the only substitution coming in for Canada against the Dominican Republic. Again, looks as though it will be time for Brooke Fermaniuk to come in for Abby Wasutik. (16-14) the lead coming out of the timeout. Canada looking to continue their separation here. Get a bit of breathing room into the late stages of this opening set of the NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup Under-19 semifinals. And a great block by Bell, but it's out of play. Point goes to Mexico, as the timing was there for Bell, and that'll bring Wasutik back onto the floor and then allow Gent to come on for serve receive. Brenda Esquivel back to serve now for Mexico, trying to pull level at 16 points apiece. Passed up by Matthews, and a swing out of the middle by Bjakovkan. Great timing again, and then every time that the Canadians get an opportunity to run the middle in system, they've converted. And now Anna Nastasi going to come in to serve for Sydney Bell. Also brings a second setter onto the floor. And you see actually Remy Katojo asking Coach Schmidt if she's still front hands. Off the tape there by Nastasi. Set to the left side, off the block, gets recycled. Mexico will try again. Great pickup that time by Gent. To the left side, off the block and out of play. Point goes to Canada. And an excellent sequence by Canada is a great dig by Ashlyn Gent. And Zabjek goes high off hands and out of play. And it's 18-15, and a timeout taken here by Mexico. So trying to talk things over as Nastasi will continue her service run coming out of the timeout. But as we alluded to, Anna Nastasi, the second setter on this Canadian team, and is on, see, at the service line, so brings two high-quality setters onto the Canadian side of the net. So if into a position where Nastasi has to take second hands, that setter continuity and location should also be there, and gives Remy Katojo an opportunity to swing away on the right side pin if into that situation. But as we saw, again, Coach Schmidt indicating back to Katojo she is still in this rotation, and obviously once Nastasi comes off, will continue as the primary setting option, but something also to consider if that does unfold the way it could, that we could see Katojo swinging away on a few, and she's been excellent at the net, turning on the second ball with some timely dumps and attacks. Passed up and receive. Morales, forearm set to the outside. Katojo able to keep it up? No. It's going to be a double touch called on Remy Katojo, and that'll bring Nastasi back. Oh, it will not actually. The buzzer going for the Mexico substitution, as Naomi Cruz will come off the floor. And that'll bring in both Naomi Lepe and Aylin Ravel. So Team Mexico bringing in a back row setting option, continuing 3 attacking options in the front row and maintaining maybe a bit stronger of a block presence as they need to steal some points to get back in this one. That one looked like it was going out, but played up by Matthews. Zabjak keeps it alive, swings away on third contact. Right side ball, this one out the back though, no touch called. Looking for it was Ravel. And that'll bring Vanessa Rada back onto the floor. You see Team Mexico using the double libero system here with Vanessa Rada and Natalia Navarro. One specializing on defense, one specializing in serve-receive. Gap is 3 for Canada, off the tape, passed up by Navarro to the right side, blocked through! Matthews and Byakovken, 20-16, timeout Mexico. Again, we talked about the Canadian block scheme and their defense being a huge part of their team's success so far through the first 2 matches of the tournament. Coming up with timely blocks and really making the opposing offense have to work for every single point. And they do a great job again of their timing and sealing up the blocks and anticipating where the setter might be distributing the ball to. And read very well on that sequence. And the gap is now 4. Both timeouts taken by Mexico, so they'll have to figure things out on the floor the rest of the way. Float serve by Zabjak. Notice system attack upcoming here for Mexico, but they do a great job converting. Aylin Ravel, excellent forearm set out of system by Vanessa Rada. Just a high inside set and allowing her attacker to get up and swing away on the ball. And it's 20-17. And a service error this time out the back. Was close to the baseline, actually looked a lot closer in the end than it did on its flight path. As Byakovken awaits the serving assignment from Coach Schmidt. Passed up, and it's an out-of-system ball upcoming again, this time well off the net. Can Canada defend and convert to a point themselves? To the outside, and Matthews with a huge swing. Great job getting a touch on the ball from Mexico, but what a swing that time by Emerson Matthews. She unloads a powerful attack out of that left side. And it's 22-17. Great job to respond, though, when received for Mexico off the block, recycles. We'll try to go again. Forearm set to the left side pin, down the line. And again, another great cut from Angelica Torres. As again, a great response, though, from Mexico after a potentially momentum-killing or morale-altering attack from Emerson Matthews. They come right back on the next point and swing away. And that'll bring Brenda Esquivel back into the front row and have Kiara Ramirez to the service line. Katojo sets in tight, wipes off the top of the block from Matthews. Got a great decision that time from Emerson Matthews. Just to kind of do a throw tip off the block, and that'll bring Bell back into the front row as Nastasi will come back to the Canadian bench. 2 points to push here now for Canada to take the opening set. They lead 23-18. Forearm set comes in tight, wiped off the block, and a good execution there by Bell, just patiently waiting for the attack to come across. And just great timing, goes up, finds the attack lane, and recognizes that it's likely going to be a tip coming and just pushes it back. It's set point. Katojo serving. Good pass though as Morales to the right side. Katojo takes first ball, set to the right side. Bell goes across but can't find the lane as it goes wide of the court. And the Mexico double substitution will reverse here now as Morales back onto the floor, and she'll give way or take Island Ravel back out, as it will Naomi Lepe. Pass comes in tight. Katojo to the outside, off the top of the block. Passed up and received. Set to the left side. Morales and Bell and Rasutic with a massive double block to take the opening set 25-19. And just great activity and timing along the net by Bell to get across, and the double block converts. Canada takes the opening set of this NORCECA U19 Girls Pan American Cup semifinal, 25-19. Join us back for the second set right after this with Canada and Mexico.
If either of them
welcome back to Queen's University for the U19 NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup Challenge. Semi-final Friday here at the Arc. Canada taking the opening set 25-19 and lead the match 1-0. The victor of this one again going to the gold medal match tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern time start in a showdown with the United States. And the loser of this one will go into the bronze medal match against the Dominican Republic at 2 o'clock. And 25-19, the opening set victory for Canada, as the opening serve of the second set will go to Morales and Mexico. Matthews with an out-of-system high ball set through, and a good swing by Zabjak. Stays on top of the ball, and a good swing by Sofia Zabjak. Out-of-system work paying off that time, and a good set by Matthews. As was Sutik, will go back to serve for Canada. Set to the right side. Good pass up. Goes over the net on the pickup by Katojo. Tipped over the net in a good location on the attack that time by Naomi Cruz. As she sees the gap in the Canadian defense and able to execute. Teams tied at a point apiece here. Passed up by Matthews, kept alive there by Bukovkin. Swinging away is Zabjak. A good timing on the block from Mexico. They're up 2-1. Back to serve again here is Angelica Torres. Be a topper upcoming here by Torres. Pass up though by Matthews. Set into the middle, can't quite get there. Set looked as though it was intended for Bukovkin, just a little bit over top of her outstretched hand. And tough for Zabjak to try to react at that moment to keep the rally alive and just send it over. Torres, passed up by Gentno. It's an ace for Angelica Torres. And Mexico's up to a 4-1 advantage to start this second set. As Torres back to serve. Into the net. As Angelica Torres with a service error goes into the net, and it's 4-2. With Remy Katojo back to serve, Sydney Bell back to serve. Float serve upcoming by Bell. Good pass up and receive though. Set to the right side, off the block and out of play with Cruz on the attack. But excellent job in serve receive that time by Vanessa Rada. Keeps the attacking options available for Ashley Morales. And a great conversion. It's 5-2 for Mexico. Float serve. And to bring it back in is Zabjak after the attack, or first contact there. But what a great swing by Matthews to stay aggressive on third ball out of system. Katojo on the right side. Good tip over the top that time by Bukovkin. Makes the adjustment midair and able to convert. 5-3 the lead now for Mexico. Passed up on receive on the serve from Zabjak. Swing through, able to pick it up well is Gent. Katojo to the outside, and Matthews swings through the block and finds the baseline. Canada back within one, it's 5-4. Zabjak back to serve again here for Canada. Good effort there by Gent, set to the left side. Matthews with a great block this time. Excellent response by Naomi Cruz. It's the attack to the outside, and Cruz times it well. And it's 6-4. Load serve passed up by Gent. Katojo to the outside. Matthews with a response. Emerson Matthews having an excellent game so far here for Canada out of the left side. Attacking very well and giving Canada plenty of momentum. Bukovka on the serve, passed up and received, set to the left side, angled back the other way on the cross-court swing by Ocampo, but it's well wide. And out of bounds, point goes to Canada as Bukovka pulls Canada level. We're tied at 6. Deep float serve, pass comes in tight. Able to battle at the net, set to the outside. Matthews again, this time into the antenna. A joust there. Come back to the Canadian side and gets recycled. Again, Matthews swinging away with a ton of pace so far in this matchup, but couldn't quite find the lane that time as it clips the antenna. Point goes to Mexico, and that'll bring Ocampo to the service line. Katojo left side set, and this time Matthews finds the back corner. She goes over top of the block, and we're tied at 7. Remy Katojo back to serve. Float serve by Katojo. And the dump this time just out of bounds by Ashley Morales, trying to take things into her own hands. That'll take us to the first technical timeout in the second set. Canada leading 8-7. As Morales again trying to convert on a little misdirection and get sort of the back dump to go, but a little bit too much pace on it, goes out the side of the court and takes us to this first technical timeout. Canada leading 8-7. Once again, been a great, exciting matchup between Canada and Mexico in this semifinal. Again, the victor going to the gold medal match to take on USA. The loser taking on the Dominican Republic in the bronze medal match. Both of which will take place after the 6th place matchup tomorrow between Costa Rica and Puerto Rico. And a huge congratulations to Team Venezuela for finishing 5th in the tournament with a victory earlier today, as their tournament comes to an end with a win against Costa Rica. Coming out of the tech timeout, it is Katojo. Back to serve here for Canada. Great serve, it leads to an overpass, and then Matthews puts it home. Good job by Morales to get up and make contact, but the pace on the attack from Morales. Advantage going to the attacker on that joust. And it's 9-7 for Canada. Good serve location by Katojo that time. Mexico stays with it. Dug up by Gent, pushed over on second ball. Set to the pipe, off the top of the block as Katojo comes in front of Zabjak there on defense. And drops to the floor. Point to Mexico, it's 9-8. Passed up by Zabjak. Katojo to the right side. Tip down the line, forearm pass to the outside, off the block, and a great timing once again there for Canada as Abby Wasutik closes over. It looks like she got the bulk of the contact on that attack from Mexico, as Sydney Bell in location as well. And it's 10-8 now for Canada. Deep float serve, passed up from Ocampo. Second ball off the top of the block. It's dug up well at the baseline by Matthews. Down the line. Good touch, though, by Cruz. Keeps it alive. We're going to get sent over on the free ball. Passed up by Gent. Canada will try again. To the left side. Zabjak tips to the pot. Great location on the touch from Zabjak. As again, Canada with back-to-back attacks with pace. And then a change of pace ball that time from Sofia Zabjak. Not only takes a bit of pace off the ball, but also great job in terms of location. So tough to navigate for the Mexico defense in a couple of different capacities there, but it's a 3-point lead now, 11-8 for Canada as Mexico takes a timeout. Emerson Matthews back to serve. Morales sets to the pipe. Does she find the baseline? Yes. As Isabella Ocampo with the attack out of the back row for Mexico pulls them within 2. And that'll bring Natalia Navarro back onto the floor. Serve is there from Morales. Off the top of the block on the swing there by Zabjak. Set to the right side, tipped over the top. Good activity to get there from Gent. And Zabjak, though, with the attacking error. Trying to stay aggressive on that one, but couldn't quite get the turn to go. Mexico back within 1. It's 11-10. Morales serves wide of the court. Zabjak there to protect the sideline and ensure that one was going to hit the red squares. And the lead is back to 2. It's 12-10. Wasutik on the serve. Set to the left side, off the block, and a good response, though, by Cruz. Attacks it through the Canadian block. And it's 12-11. Spin serve upcoming. Passed up well by Matthews. Katojo to the right side to Bell, off the arms and out of play. And a perfect execution that time by Canada. And that'll bring Anastasi back onto the floor for Sydney Bell to serve. We saw Anastasi stay the course of the backcourt rotations the last sequence through, so we'll see if Nastasi will do the same this time. 2-point gap for Canada, 13-11. Spin serve upcoming for Nastasi. Morales keeps it alive. Able to get there is Katojo. Second ball taken by Bukovkat. Roll shot this time by Zabjak. And a good swing off the top of the block by Cruz. And Mexico is back within 1. It's 13-12. Esquivel back to serve. Good pass by Matthews. Katojo to the right side. Can't quite get it over as Bukovkan. Seeing that the block had read the step around well, so had to go change of pace on that one instead of swinging straight into the block. Good adjustment to go to the tip, but didn't quite get enough pace on it. Catches the tape of the net and back. We're tied at 13. Pass up though and receive. Bukovkan this time able to swing away. as it solves the tape and the Mexico block. Canada back in front, it's 14-13. Good pass and receive though by Navarro. On the right side ball, and an excellent dig by Zabjak. Forearm set to Matthews. What a swing, but it's kept up by Mexico. Wearing that one was Ocampo. To the left side, Matthews again, squeaks through the block. And the excellent matchup for Emerson Matthews continues. She's been spectacular for Canada through a set and a half. Deep float serve, passed up, it's great by Mexico in tight to the right side, tipped down the line, able to get there though is Gent, tipped back over. Second ball taken, the swing to the outside by Rada, and off the top of the Canadian block on the swing. 15-14 for Canada. That'll bring Naomi Cruz to the line. Passed up by Matthews. Nastasi takes second ball, goes back to Matthews down the line. Dug up by Cruz. Run the pipe this time, off the block. Zabjak gets there, Katojo back to Matthews. Tips over this time as Emerson Matthews with the off-speed attack takes us to the second technical timeout. 16-14 for Canada, as both teams will take the tech timeout and take a minute to strategize and discuss with their coaching staff and each other what adjustments they might need to make or what they need to continue to do. But it is a 16-14 lead for Canada. And they take the opening set 25-19. To go up 2-0 as Brooke Fermaniuk will come onto the floor to serve and play some defense, at least while Canada maintains their serve, before likely giving way to Ashlyn Gent. Deep serve by Fermaniuk. Forearm set, passed up on second ball, leads to a roll shot, and it's an effective one there out of the left side. As Ocampo able to score that one for Mexico. And that'll bring Bukovkin back onto the floor and quickly gives way to Ashlyn Gent with serve receive upcoming on the serve incoming from Isabella Ocampo. The discussion taking place at the scorer's table here. Sorting out a rotation or substitution question.
Who you were cheering for? Can I hear some cheers if you're cheering for Team Mexico? All right. And let's hear it if you're cheering for Team Canada.
So a little delay here as they get some things sorted, but it is a 16-15 advantage for Canada. Again, Team Canada going 2-0 in pool play and finishing atop Pool B. Mexico going 2-1 in pool play and finishing second in Pool A. Their only loss of the tournament coming in pool play to Team USA, who they have an opportunity to face off against in the gold medal match if they can come back and win this one against the hosts from Canada. Again, Canada, as we said, finishing first in their pool with pool victories against the Dominican Republic and Costa Rica, with the Dominican Republic losing this afternoon's first semifinal in straight sets against USA. Will be playing in that gold medal match, the Dominican playing for bronze. So 3 matchups tomorrow. And it looks as though everything has been figured out. And coming out will be back to serve is Ocampo. Katojo to the left side. Matthews again finds the baseline. Emerson Matthews have a day here in this semifinal. 17-15. And that'll bring Sydney Bell back into the front row and Katojo back to serve. Float serve by Katojo. Pulled off, goes these to an out of system ball, forearm to the outside, and good conversion on the attack by Angelica Torres. Be a substitution here for Mexico as Aitana Taguma will come back to serve. 17-16 for Canada. And it's a short serve into the net by Taguma. And that'll bring Vanessa Rada back onto the floor. And Emerson Matthews to serve and brings Sofia Zabjak into the front row. Passed up unreceived by Ocampo. On the step around, and it's a good conversion there from Esquivel. And Mexico and Canada continuing to trade points. This one back in the favor of Mexico. They still trail by 1. We'll have 3 attacking options in the front row, and you can see the release of excitement from Ashley Morales on that ace. We're tied at 18 and a huge closeout to this second set for the rest of the match. Set to the right side. Bell looked like it could have been going out the back, but it's played up by Ocampo. Recycles off the block. Set to the right side. Tipped over. Gets there. Gentno drops into the gap. Advantage to Mexico now. They're up 19-18, and Coach Schmidt's going to take a timeout. So good 3-point run here for Mexico to take the lead. And we'll be right back after this timeout. (19-18) coming out of the timeout taken by Canada. Deep float serve passed up by Matthews out of the pipe this time, but a great block by Brenda Esquivel. And it's a 2-point advantage now for Mexico with Morales continuing to serve. Great time to run the pipe though for Canada. Didn't work out in their favor that time. Matthews passed up and received, set into the middle, tipped over and sent back. Katojo to the left side. Zabjak, no touch on the block. And back-to-back attacking errors for Canada gives a 3-point gap for Mexico as they look to even this matchup at a set apiece. Passed up by Matthews. Katojo to the left side. Zabjak down the line, but it's dug up by Morales. Kept alive and turns on that one. Great dig though by Gent. Pass to the pipe again. This time Matthews tips over. Morales to the right side. Opportunity, a pseudo free ball situation here for Canada. The right side, Bell dug up well. To stay alive, no. And a great side out there for Canada, much needed after a 4-point run for Mexico gives them an advantage. And we're gonna get Ana Stojanovic to come in to serve for Abby Wasutik. 2-point advantage for Canada. For Mexico. As Stojanovic trying to steal one from the line here and pull Canada back within one. It's a deep float serve though, goes well out the back. Tough ask there for Stojanovic to try to come off the bench and convert. So it's a service error for Canada. They trail 22-19. And that'll bring Angelica Torres back to serve. Here, but again, an excellent back and forth between Canada and Mexico in this second set. Both teams having runs within this set where it looked as though they were going to create some separation, but for the most part, things have been relatively level. Kind of a late set surge here for Mexico has put them into a spot to try to even the match up at a set apiece. 22-19 for Mexico. Top serve coming. Passed up by Matthews. Good reaction by Katojo off the block. As Mexico is up 23-19. And a timeout taken by Canada. Got to get a bit of a breather, slow down the momentum building here for Mexico. As Canada faces potentially their first set loss of the tournament. But heading deeper and deeper into the tournament. Competition getting more and more fierce and lengthy matches the expectation at this juncture. Canada +6 in the opening set, 25-19. And they are trailing by 4 here though. Coming out of the timeout, Angelica Torres back to serve. Spin serve upcoming by Torres. Passed up by Matthews, it's an overpass and Katojo can't do much about it as a back row setter. Does that find the corner? No. Zabjak trying to convert. And it's set point now for Mexico. 24-19. And it'll be Torres trying to serve out the second set for Mexico. Passed up by Zabjak, it's a good one. Katojo to the right side, and the swing, it's a block. Brenda Escobar puts an end to the second set. Mexico takes it 25-19 and match the opening set victory for Canada. We're tied at a set apiece. Join us back for the third. You're watching the U19 NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup semifinal between Canada and Mexico here on CBC Sports. Welcome back to the Athletics and Recreation Center in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Semi-final Friday here for the U19 NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup. The second of two semifinals between Canada and Mexico. The first going the way of the United States, who will be playing for gold tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's now a best of three between Canada and Mexico. The teams splitting identical set scores. 25-19 for Canada in the first, and the same set score for Mexico in the second. Emerson Matthews will start us off, serving for Canada for the beginning of the third set. Deep float serve by Matthews, passed up, set into the middle. No touch on the Canadian block, yes there is. Point goes to Mexico to start us off. Out of the attack out of the middle from Brenda Esquivel, again put an end to the second set with a great block. Passed up by Gent, Katojo into the middle. Good dig by Gent though. Excellent job defensively, and now out of system, set to the outside, and what a point earned for Canada. Ashlyn Gent on defense and on offense on that sequence through. And it's tied at a point apiece there. Again, a great dig by Gent, and then an out of system set to the left side pin. Doing it all on that sequence was the Canadian libero, Ashlyn Gent. Float serve by Wasutik. Set into the middle. Read on the block by Bukovkin to force the free ball over. And Zabjak with a swing on the left side. Back-to-back points for Canada. They lead 2-1. Abby Wasutik. Deep serve. Good pass up. Swing across, and a great find that time by Naomi Cruz. And we're tied at 2. Angelica Torres back to serve now for Mexico. Spin server by Torres. Pass to Katojo into the middle. Good timing on the block that time, and anticipation by Esquivel. But Bukovkin with a good sharp angle swing. Tools it, chisels off the inside of the block there. And Canada retakes the lead. It's 3-2. Sydney Bell. Great serve, passed up by Ocampo. Set to the right side, it's tipped down into the corner. Good scramble to get there by Matthews. To the outside, Zabjak stays with it. You see Zabjak sort of turn her shoulders back in towards the ball. And it's a 2-point lead now, it's 4-2 for Canada. Float serve by Bell. Passed up and received by Rada. Dug up by Matthews. Second ball taken. It's a forearm pass in tight to Zabjak. Bit of a scramble into the tape and just gets sent over on the backcourt down ball. Matthews with a pipe tip. Pipe back the other way this time, but it's swung away by Mexico. Katojo to the C ball. Bell can't find the baseline. Point goes to Mexico, and we're a 4-3 advantage for Canada. That'll bring Brenda Esquivel back to serve. Passed up by Matthews. Great swing by Zabjak. The block set up there by Mexico, but Zabjak challenging the block to respond to the pace on the attack. And that one won by Zabjak, who's now back to serve. It's 5-3, and serve goes short into the net. Naomi Cruz back to serve for Mexico. It's a great serve by Cruz. Goes for an ace. That one out the back on the service error by Cruz. So trades aces and errors on those last two sequences. Regains the lead, does Canada, on that service error. It's 6-5. Bukov Ken. Float serve, just over top of the tape, set to the left side. And a great attack back for Isabella Ocampo. She swings through, we're tied at 6. And now Ocampo will go back to serve for Mexico. A deeper serve-receive orientation here for Canada. Passed up by Zabjek. To the outside, rolled over by Matthews. Scrambling to keep it alive, in tight to the tape. Can't quite get there as Bell. As the misdirection, off-speed ball that time from Mexico. Drops in front of the attack line, and it's a 7-6 advantage. And this time a service error goes out the back. And the point goes back to Canada. And that'll bring Remy Katojo back to serve. Brings Sydney Bell back to the front row. 3 attacking options in the front, and Sophia Zabjek, the pipe outlet out of the back row for Canada. Passed up and received, getting there is Morales on second ball. A good swing, but it's dug up well by Gent. To the outside, Matthews off the block and in play. Great timing on the block as Morales getting part of that one for Canada. For Mexico. And that'll take us to the first technical timeout here in the third set. Can you see Ashley Morales coming off with some excitement for doing the heavy lifting on that block for Mexico. Great decision by Matthews to swing away and then try to get out of the way on the flight path of the ball coming back off the block, as she was tight to that sideline and could have caught a break with it rolling out of play, but great job again by Morales and the block set up by Mexico to not only get contact, but get some pace and some angling of that block to force it down to the Canadian floor. And again, it's an 8-7 lead for Mexico, coming out of the first of 2 technical timeouts. Both teams still with their set timeouts remaining. Passed up and received by Matthews. She'll stay behind the ball and swing away on third contact. And a bit of a miscommunication there from Mexico, just sent over on the free ball. Bell straight down. As Sydney Bell in that free ball transition. Great set selection that time by Remy Katojo. As the Mexico side of the net was a little bit scrambly after, again, that miscommunication just led to that free ball and players getting back into their defensive positioning, but set to Bell is a great one and an impressive swing on the ball by Sydney Bell. Forearm set to the outside and a good response by Torres. Angelica Torres with a sharp jackknife cut. Swings to the tee on the far side of the court. Mexico back in front. It's 9-8 with Ashley Morales back to serve and a 1-point advantage. Passed up by Matthews. Katojo into the middle. Read that time by Esquivel. And the lead is now 2 for Mexico. Good Pass up though and received by Matthews. This time to Bell with a great roll shot. Gets eaten up along the tape and can't keep it alive. That time for Mexico was Esquivel. The point goes to Canada as they are trailing by just a single point. And now Abby Wasutik back to serve. Deep float serve, played up though to the back by Ocampo. And a good conversion out of the left side by Naomi Cruz. And they retake a 2-point lead. It's 11-9. With Angelica Torres back to serve. They go for the spin serve. Passed up by Zabjek. Now she has to get ready to take third ball. It's just going to be a bit of a scramble there as Matthews, the out-of-system forearm set, gets a little bit away from her. And we'll see a timeout taken here by Team Canada. Gina Schmidt going to bring the girls in to talk things over. 12-9 the lead for Mexico here in this second set. Again, coming out of the timeout, Canada trailing 12-9.
Can we hear it?
Angelica Torres. Back to serve out of the timeout here for Mexico. Generates a lot of serving pressure with the spin serve. Coming off an ace, and now Canada scrambling, but they're able to keep it alive and send it over on the free ball. To the right side, off the block! And great response by Canada out of the timeout as Zabjek and Bjukovkan combine for the double block on the right side attack for Mexico. They're back within 2. And that'll bring Sydney Bell back to serve. Cross-court serve and a 1-to-1 from Sydney Bell. And the attacking error that time as Katojo tried to turn and swing away on third contact, but it goes out the back. And it's a 13-10 lead now for Mexico. Be a substitution here as Aitana Tanguma going to come in and replace Kiara Ramirez with Brenda Esquivel back to serve. So midway through this third set, it is 1 set apiece overall in the match. Canada taking the first, Mexico the second. It's a deep float serve. That one looked like it may have been going out the back, but too late to react there for Matthews. Set is tight to the pin, and a good block there by Katojo. And the point goes to Canada. Set a little bit inside and tight to the tape. But it's read very well by Katojo for the block, and it's 13-11. Good fix on the set that time, and what a swing by Tanguma. But again, a great reaction out of first ball as Ashley Morales slows down a fast-moving pass to set up Tanguma, and it's 14-11. Katojo to the right side on the step around, off the arms and out of play from Angelica Torres. Haven't seen the step around over the last little while for Canada, but the activity along the net and the constant guessing from the opponent's block scheme An effective tactic for Canada as Bukovkin converts and now goes back to serve. Set to the left side, and it's off the net though, but it's converted by Isabella Ocampo. So sometimes tough in terms of the read and where the ball is potentially going to go after the attack when the set's tight to the tape versus off the net. Float serve passed up by Matthews. Katojo to the outside. Matthews with a good swing away, kept afloat. In tight to the tape and takes a Mexico bounce. It comes back over to Wasutik. And that'll take us to the second technical timeout here in the third set. It's a 16-12 lead for Mexico as Canada comes off the floor and into their huddle. Try to talk things over and come up with a couple of tactical adjustments to work their way back into this third set. Again, Canada taking the opening set 25-19. Mexico matches in the second with the same scoreline and have leveled this up at a set apiece in what's been an outstanding semifinal fight between Canada and Mexico, with a spot in the gold medal match on the line against Team USA. The Dominican Republic falling in straight sets to USA earlier today, and they will play in the bronze medal match against the loser of this matchup here. And again, Venezuela coming away today with and securing 5th place in the tournament. And the 6th place matchup between Puerto Rico and Costa Rica will take place tomorrow at 12 noon. Bronze medal match at 2 o'clock and the gold medal match at 4 p.m. Eastern time. What should be a great matchup between the USA and whoever comes away from this outstanding semifinal between Canada and Mexico. Katojo to the outside, tipped by Matthews, and a great decision from Emerson Matthews. As you see the defense of Mexico retreating a little bit, knowing that it was Matthews who's had a lot of pace on her attacks and has swung very well here tonight. Kind of taking maybe that extra step back to anticipate a hard-driven ball. Set it to the middle. It's well defended on the block that time by Wasutik. To the left side, Matthews finds the baseline, and Emerson Matthews. No off-speed shots that time. Matthews just using her pace from that right shoulder. Canada back within 2 coming out of the technical timeout. Katojo, deep float serve. It's handled on receive to the left side. Block gets over from Bell and Wasutik, but able to swing to the outside of it is Angelica Torres. Touch there on receive, sent back over. Set to the left side off the block, Canada on the net. As Bell and Wasutik go up for the block, as Canada not agreeing with the call there. Maybe trying to indicate who was the guilty party on the net. And it's off the forearms of Zabjek and out of play for an ace. 5-point advantage now for Mexico, and Canada will take a timeout, trailing 19-14. But still plenty of time left for Canada to claw their way back into this. We've seen them with great resolve and resilience in this tournament so far. But credit to Mexico for doing a great job in the midway juncture of this set to turn it on and create a little bit of separation here, and now riding high with some energy and confidence with a 5-point gap and a pivotal third set with teams tied at a set apiece. Deep float serve, and it's out the back, and a service error that time by Tanguma. As you see, sort of discussing with her coach on the way through, that just caught a little bit too much of the float on our way through. And now Matthews returns favor. Gets the ball back over on first contact. Good swing by Bell off the top of the block, but it's kept alive here for Mexico. Back to the left side, cut down the line. Trying to get there was Matthews, but over top of the block and finds the empty corner in position one. 5-point lead restored now for Mexico. It's 20-15. Set by Katojo to the outside and wipes off the block. And Canada finds a way to side out. And Bukovkin back into the floor. As Fermaniak going to come on to serve here for Abby Wasutik. 20-16 for Mexico, but Fermaniak to the service line. She's stolen a couple of huge points throughout the tournament as a serving sub here for Canada. Can she do it again? Into the tape. Tough break there for Fermaniak because that serve location looked dangerous, but couldn't quite get it over top of the tape, and the point goes to Mexico. It's 21-16. Four points to push here for Mexico to close out this third set. The spin server, passed up by Matthews. Katojo to the right side. Bell, good cross-court swing, but it's dug up and kept alive by Mexico. Sent over. Free ball transition time here for Canada into the middle. Able to make contact with it as Bukovkin. Tipped off. Bukovkin keeps it alive on second ball. Then poked over by Ocampo. And the movement along the back row has allowed Mexico to convert. It's 22-16. And they lead by 6 points here in this third set. 3 points to push to close out the third set. Passed up there by Zabjek, kept back in by Bukovkin, sent over on the free ball by Matthews. Set to Morales into the middle. What a block! Maya Bukovkin with a huge block out of the middle, and Anastasi going to come back in to serve. Anastasi. 22-17. As Nastasi going to come in. We've seen Nastasi show the spin serve earlier in the match. We'll see if she goes back to it here to try to create some service pressure. She will indeed. Nastasi, great pass and receive. Set to the right side, out the back, attacking error. Point goes to Canada, and it'll be a timeout, it looks like, upcoming here for Mexico. And they'll take it. As again, Nastasi presents a different sort of serve-receive look for Mexico with the spin serve. And again, that service pressure can do so much for the serving team to force the defense into an out-of-system ball, which could lead to some free ball transition and more attacking options back in response. So certainly what Canada's going to try to do here. We'll see if Nastasi, though, this time, with the defense knowing that she's presenting the spin serve and likely taking a step or two back from their normal defensive positioning, if she decides to take a change of pace and go more off speed and pull that serve receive forward, which in itself can create a little bit of a headache for the setter if it's not the cleanest pass on first ball. 22-18, Mexico leading in this third set, tied at 1 set apiece in the match. And Anastasi to the line. Swinging away, Nastasi with the ace. Anna Nastasi pulls Canada within 3. We saw the momentum and energy building on the Mexican side of the net just a few moments ago, and now that looks to be shifting back in Canada's favor. Can they do it again? Nastasi, good pass though unreceived. Set to the right side off the block. Gets recycled. Back to the left side. Roll this time. Nastasi gets there, kept alive by Gent. Roll shot by Zabjak. Morales to the left side. Ocampo off the block. Katojo, Bukovcan, Canada within 2. Timeout taken by Mexico. And outstanding resilience from Canada. Trailing by 6, that is now down to just 2 in the late stages of a pivotal third set between Canada and Mexico in this NORCECA Pan American Cup semifinal. And a outstanding environment here in Kingston as well. And coming out of the timeout, that's the second of 2 timeouts taken for Mexico. Canada trailing still 22-20. As again, they maybe try to slow the serving confidence of Anna Nastasi down a little bit. We'll see when she goes right back to the top spin, but takes a bit of pace off this time. Set to the left side, tipped over, able to keep it alive. Forearm set by Matthews to the outside off the top of the block. Point goes to Canada on the swing by Zabjak. 22-21 on the block touch out of play. And again, we saw that change of pace on the last swing by Nastasi. We'll see if she goes back to the pace this time on the topper, as she will. Down the line, Nastasi! We're tied at 22. Anna Nastasi, an outstanding service run, has taken a 6-point deficit and pulled Canada level. What does she have in store on this one? Roll shot. Good set back to the outside. Good movement though by Gent. Just gets sent over on second ball. Back to the right side. Swings through, and a great side out by Mexico. 23-22. Outstanding action here, back and forth, and a much needed side out that time by Mexico. And they retake the lead. It's 23-22. Float serve off the arms there of Zabjak. Second ball, Zabjak gonna stay on top of it. Zabjak swings away. Defended on the perimeter that time by Torres. To the right side, tipped over. Katojo can't quite get there. And a tough break as Remy Katojo was tucked underneath. And it goes off the hand of Bukovcan. And it's now set point for Mexico after such a great fight back from Canada, being down 22-16 to bring it back to 22 points apiece. They have to find a way to side out on this point here, or else it'll be a 2-1 set lead for Mexico. And at the line, Brenda Esquivel, who put an end to the second set with a huge block, will look to do it this time from the service line. Passed up by Matthews, it's a good one. Katojo to the left side, Zabjak, Mexico on the net. Point's gonna go to Canada. The swing anyway from Zabjak was a good one, but Mexico defense not having to react after the whistle going. Second set point opportunity here for Mexico. Zabjak to the service line, 24-23. Passed up Morales to the right side, off the block! Emerson Matthews, we're tied at 24. Outstanding action back and forth. And we're tied at 24 and going to extras. Serve comes in tight. Morales into the middle, tipped over the top. Good scramble to get there. It's in tight to the tape. Joust one. No, sent over. Off the tape. Rally kept alive. Morales to the right side. Roll shot. Picked up. Katojo to the outside. Matthews! Advantage Canada. Emerson Matthews on an incredible rally back and forth. It goes the way of Canada. Off the tool and out of play. Set point 25-24. Zabjak serving. Deep float serve, good handle and receive. To the left side, off the block! And Canada comes all the way back. Down 6 late in the set, forcing extra points. 26-24 in the best set of the tournament. Join us back for the 4th. You're watching Canada and Mexico in the U19 NORCECA Girls Pan American Championship. Canada leads 2-1. You're watching the U19 Women's Volleyball Championships here on CBC Sports. Welcome back to the Athletics and Recreation Center in Kingston, Ontario, Canada, as we continue an outstanding semifinal matchup between Canada and Mexico. Canada taking the third set 26-24 and going on a 10-2 run to close out that set and take the lead in the match 2-1. Huge credit to Anastasi for pulling Canada back from the service line, and full credit to the entire lineup for staying the course, trusting in each other and trusting in the process of coming back, listening to some coaching feedback and putting it all together. What was a great third set here, and we'll see if Mexico can respond after a tough, heartbreaking set loss. And what looks as though it was in their favor at one point. Again, we'll see. Again, the first sort of 10 points of this fourth set could be pivotal for the rest of the match. And Matthews absolutely tees off down the line, as Emerson Matthews has been spectacular, as we've said, in this match for Canada. And answers the bell right away. We're tied at a point apiece here in the fourth set. And a tough break there for Katojo as ball catches the tape and comes backwards. Spin serve upcoming. Scrambling to get there is Katojo, but can't quite get there. Off the missed touch on serve receive. 3-1 the advantage for Mexico to start. Exactly what Team Mexico needed. Coming in to start this fourth set with their aspirations of winning gold on the line. Great serve, passed up by Zabjak. To the middle this time, and they run Bell out of the middle. That gets away from her a little bit. Point goes to Mexico. It's 4-1. Set into the middle this time, off the block. No, it's going to be out of play. So again, they try to run Bell out of the middle. And we'll see now if she's going to make the switch and have her first run come out of the left side, as it looks like she's going to stack here to this near sideline and allow Wasutik to slide into the middle on the first route. Katojo to the left side. Bell tips over the top. Great dig, pancake and kept up. Bell with the block. Set to the left side, rolled over. And it finds the gap in front of Remy Katojo. We'll see if Canada takes an early set timeout here. It's a 6-1 lead. They get exactly what Mexico needed coming out of a tough set loss. And they're up 6-1. With another spin serve upcoming into the tape. So the service run comes to an end for Angelica Torres, but has created a bit of an early cushion here for Mexico. They lead 6-2 with Emerson Matthews. Back to serve. Deep float serve, comes in tight to the tape, can't adjust, but it goes over. Set up tight, Zabjak off the block, Canada on the net, as Sofia Zabjak's follow through clips the tape, and the point goes to Mexico, who are back out in front by 5. 7-2. With Esquivel to serve. Passed up by Matthews, it's an overpass, and Katojo can't do much with it as a back row setter. And it's touched off the block, and the race to the first technical timeout goes the way of Mexico with a convincing stretch to get to the tech timeout, up 8-2. So again, that 10-point margin we talked about, a huge, important piece for the rest of this match here. Because obviously it had been Canada on this scoreline, would have put Mexico in a tough position to try to rally out of. But again, a great response after a tough third set loss for Mexico to get right back at it and come out flying here in this fourth set, up 8-2. Out serve, passed up by Matthews. Katojo to the left side. Zabjak tools off the block and out of play. Point to Canada. Forearm set back, sent over on the free ball. Matthews, Katojo to the pipe. Out the back on the attacking error. And it's 9-3 for Mexico. Passed up in receive, set to the right side. Bell tips over, but it's sent back. Joust at the net, scramble to keep it alive. Just gonna get sent over by Katojo. Dumped over, great job that time by Naomi Lepe. Able to dump over and find the gaps. And it's 10-3 for Mexico. Substitution here is Sol Henson going to come in for Sophia Zabjak. Seven-point gap for Canada to make up, but still very early on in this fourth set. Off the arms there of Matthews. Hansen can't get there. As the service run here for Mexico continues. Been able to score points from the line in their in-system offense, out-of-system, and a couple of points at the net to boot. So a great start to this fourth set for Mexico. But we just saw from Canada at a much different juncture in the set, some great resolve and fight back to claw their way not only back into a set, but to come away with the victory. But again, it's a fast action time here now for Canada if they're going to get back into this one and prevent this semifinal from going to a fifth set, as it's an 11-3 advantage. As the first of two timeouts taken here by Canada. Serve coming back out of the timeout here for Mexico. Passed up by Henson into the middle. Good run by Byakovka. Again, the in-system offense out of the middle for Canada has had so much success throughout the course of the tournament. See if they continue to get more involved there, and they're going to bring Anna Nastasi back in, the serving hero in the third set for Canada. See if she can trim the deficit here, much like she did in that third set. A 7-point gap to make up here. Nastasi swings away. Set to the C ball. Katojo back, tipped over the top and finds the gaps. As you see again, Lepe maybe trying to get many different attacking options involved, and hearing it from the Mexico coaching staff, perhaps about her set decision and location on that one. It was a good location to the C ball, but maybe not the expectation on that route, especially with an advantage there and a clean pass on first ball. But again, a great job by Canada to convert, and they take another one. They're back within 5. And it's 11-6 to the outside, straight down the line. Passed up by Katojo to the outside. Henson off the block. And it comes back off of her before landing onto the floor. It did look as though she caught a break. The tool maybe would have gone out of play. But it's again a 12-6 lead for Mexico. And Nastasi going to stay on the floor. Play some defense and offer another set of hands on the floor, and another good turn that time by Remy Katojo. 12-7 now. Set back to the left side, off the top of the block. Matthews there for it. Katojo back to Matthews. She has to adjust. It's in tight. Able to stay with it though. Canada looking for the lift. They get the point nonetheless. As you see, momentum building now in favor of Canada. Still 4 points to make up here. Good serve and passed up on receive. Set to the outside. Great swing away this time though. Angelica Torres. Great side out there for Mexico as Torres just tees off on an excellent swing. And it'll be Tanguma back to serve. And the serve eats up the receive there from Ashlyn Gent. 6-point lead restored. It's 14-8. Second technical timeout on the horizon here. It was an 8-2 advantage for Mexico at the first. They're holding on to that 6-point gap now. Getting there is Nastasi, sent over by Henson on the free ball. It's a good location though, as Mexico has to adjust. Roll shot, good effort to get there, but it's out of play from Nastasi. And it's now a 7-point gap as Stojanovic going to come onto the floor here now for Remy Katojo. As Nastasi will stay on the floor as backhands. Give Remy Katojo a bit of a break and allow Canada to have another attacking option in the front row. That's where Stojanovic makes her mark right away and converts on the attack. Again, the rotation Canada was in with only 2 attacking options in the front row and a strong server on the line really limits sometimes the location in which the offense can move in. Makes it easier for the defensive scheme and the block scheme to move. Push to the outside and another good swing, and it's picked up though by Matthews. Joust pushed over for now by Wasutik. Nastasi to the right side, good cut by Stojanovic. Forearm ball back into the back row. Great dig though by Nastasi. A little bit of a scramble to get there on second ball. A little bit of hesitation. Drops in, and that'll take us to the second technical timeout. Mexico leads 16-9. Again, we'll see if Canada reverses their substitution. A great swing by Stojanovic to convert right away off the bench. But when they get maybe Stojanovic back into the serving position, maybe anticipate the double sub coming with Stojanovic coming back out and Nastasi coming out for Sydney Bell and having Katojo come back in. But a 16-9 advantage for Mexico in the 4th set of the U19 NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup. Float serve passed up by Henson. Set back to the left side, and the block by Esquivel. And Cruz. And the lead extends to 8 at 17-9 for Mexico. And again, has been a perfect set for them coming out of a tough 3rd set loss in which momentum shifted all the way back in favor of Canada. And a great swing out of the middle this time by Wasutik. And a great set location that time by Anna Nastasi to keep her middle in a natural swing progression and swing mechanics. And it's a 17-10 lead with Stojanovic back to serve. Good serve by Stojanovic. Set back to the left side, rolled over the top. Wasutik to the left side. Matthews swings away. Another great attack that time by Emerson Matthews. Trims the deficit back to 6. As Stojanovic will go back to serve. So they will keep Stojanovic and Nastasi on the floor at the moment. Back to the left side. Good pass up by Henson on defense. Nastasi trying to go for the dump on the 2-ball. Just catches the tape and comes back. (18-11). Back to serve here now is Angelica Torres. Top serve upcoming. Forearm set back to the left side. Matthews swings away. Great dig though by Mexico out of the left side. Down the line, touch off the block. Point to Mexico. Outstanding job on defense that time by Natalia Navarro. And a timeout taken by Canada. As the lead is now 8, 19-11. Again, Canada taking the opening set 25-19. Mexico responds 25-19 in the second. A thriller in the third, 26-24 to Canada. But Mexico has responded here up 19-11. And looking to push this semifinal into a 5th and deciding set. Both timeouts taken now by Canada. With an 8-point advantage to work with here for Mexico. More than happy to trade points the rest of the set and close this one out. But we've seen Canada be able to dig deep and pull their way back in. Nastasi goes over on 2. Set to the left side, swings away, no touch on the block, point to Canada on the attacking error by Isabella Ocampo. Nastasi to the left side, tipped over by Henson. Forearm set back to the left side, roll shot this time, Henson gets there. Nastasi to the C-ball, Stojanovic cuts across, kept alive though by Mexico, sent over on the free ball. Can Canada move quickly here into the middle, tipped and recycled, kept alive, can't get it over. Rally won by Mexico, it's 20-12. Excellent pursuit on both sides of the net. Mexico to keep the rally alive and come away with the point. And they're the first to 20. Great swing by Henson as she cuts it to the far side. (20-13) for Maniak back to serve here for Canada. Pass comes in tight. Set to the right side, off the top of the block and out of play. Henson was there, but the swing by Cruz. He's able to convert, as was Sutik. Will come right back onto the floor and then give way to Gent. 8 points the lead for Mexico. As Ashley Morales will come back onto the floor here. And a great run by Lepe running the offense for Mexico. So Naomi Cruz will come off the floor as well and keep Three attacking options in the front row here for Mexico. Try to keep their foot on the gas and not allow Canada to fight their way back into this set. Passed up by Henson. To the pipe. Rolled over from Matthews. To the left side. Straight through. And a conversion on the left side that time by Isabella Ocampo, who's had a great match for Mexico in that left side pin. As this one looks as though we'll be going to a fifth and deciding set. Set on the step around, and a great response by Canada as Byakovkan puts that one through the floor. Just rises up over top of the block. Putting every ounce of energy into that jump was Maya Byakovkan, and gets rewarded. Putting a dent in the floor. And a great serve by Nastasi. Spin serve straight down the line. And a timeout taken here by Mexico. So a similar juncture to where we were at in the third set. A little bit more wiggle room for Mexico. And a greater sense of urgency for them, with this being obviously a deciding set for them to see if they can extend the match. But it was a 22-16 advantage for Mexico in that third, before Canada went on the run to close the gap and tie things up, and then trade the rest of the way, or pull away late to take that set. So a good, well-timed timeout here for Mexico to stall any of that momentum here that Canada had built up, especially after the ace from Anna Nastasi. So a quick side out here will put Mexico back into a confident headspace. Goes out the back, no! They call the ace. As we're gonna see, maybe, don't know if there's potential to review. It does not look as though, based on the reactions, that there is a potential to review. So the up official gonna talk to the captains here, as you see the Mexico coach and players in a huge disagreement with that. The coaching staff talking to the down official and to the linesperson, but are they gonna wave the linesperson over to talk about it? No, it's gonna go to, it's gonna stay as a Canadian ace. 22-16. As Nastasi will try to do it again. Takes a bit of pace off this time. Set to the left side, tipped over, they'll recycle. Morales to the right side. Angles down this time. And Mexico converts on the swing by Ocampo. 23-16. And that'll bring Ocampo to the service line. 2 points to push to close out the set. Off the arms there of Matthews and out of play, and it's set point Mexico. 24-16. So after the ace that went Canada's way, that was controversial. Mexico sides out on the very next one. They get an ace themselves, and are now facing set point, or forcing set point here for Canada. Sent over by Henson, can't get there. And Mexico takes the fourth set, 25-16. And a match fitting for a 5-set thriller has come to fruition here in Kingston. Mexico takes it 25-16, and this match is tied up at 2 sets apiece. Join us back for the fifth. You don't want to miss it. Canada-Mexico, the NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup Challenge here in Kingston on CBC Sports. Welcome back to the Athletics and Recreation Center on the campus of Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. The host site of the U19 NORCECA Girls Pan American Cup. It is semifinal Friday, the second of two semifinal showdowns. The first going the way of a straight sets victory for the United States over the Dominican Republic. The second here, a sprint to 15 in a 5-set thriller between Canada and Mexico. And what's been the match of the tournament so far, Mexico taking the fourth set 25-16 to even this up and keep their aspirations of playing for gold alive. And again, the teams will trade sides at the 8-point juncture. Canada will stay on this near side or right side of the screen and swing right to left to start. Mexico in green going left to right. And the crowd on hand treated to an outstanding matchup here. Befitting a semifinal showdown. As the opening serve of this fifth set will go to Mexico as Naomi Lepe. Mexico's used both of their setters throughout the course of this this matchup here. And they'll start with Lepe. We'll see if they maintain their strategy of 3 attacking options and do a double substitution, but we'll have to find that out in a few moments' time when the rotations give us the answer. Here we go, fifth set action. Lepe starts us off the arms of Gent and out of play. And it's an ace for Mexico and the first point on the board. Lepe looking to do it again. Shallow serve receive here for Canada. Try to go and meet that ball. Passed up by Henson off the arms and out of play. Back-to-back aces to start the set for Mexico. Sol Henson has stayed in for Canada on the left side. And it's a 2-0 start to the fifth set for Mexico. Passed up by Henson, second ball taken by Matthews. Henson swings away on third ball, it's dug up well. Set to the left side by Lepe, rolls down the line, passed up by Matthews. Katojo to the left side, Henson. Off-speed shot, kept afloat, swing out of the pipe, off the block, kept up by Gent. Katojo to the left side to Henson, forearm goes cross court. To the right side, ball off the block this time, Gent gets there again. Katojo to the middle, and a huge conversion by Wasutik. Excellent rally back and forth as Katojo able to get Wasutik in a one-on-one out of the middle and angles and turns around the block. Canada gets on the board, it's 2-1. Matthews serving, it's a deep float. Forearm set back to the right side, swings away, and a great conversion this time by Angelica Torres. Tools off the block, and the point goes to Mexico. And it's a 3-1 advantage here. Again, this one going to 15. Topper upcoming. Great pass up by Henson. Katojo into the middle. Forearm set back to the right side pin. Off the top of the block, able to get there is Gent. Katojo to Henson off the block. Lands back in play and the point goes to Mexico. They're up 4-1. And continuing the service run here is Torres. Spin server upcoming by Torres. Well out the back this time. Good communication by the Canadian serve receive, just sort of reading that one coming out of the hand of Torres, knowing it was on a path well out the back of the court. Again, great job by Canada to stay composed. Serve coming by Bell. Pass up comes in tight. Lepe tipped over the top, able to get there as Gent. Katojo having to navigate some bodies in the way, but still gets a set out to the left side. Great dig, picked up in tight to the tape. Joust won by Canada. Bukovcan and Henson able to take away any attacking lanes there. Once again, it's a 4-3 lead for Mexico, as you see Gent and Katojo sharing a laugh after that rally, as Gent kind of got all caught up in the feet of Katojo, who's still able to get the set out though. Good serve by Bell. Lepe to the right side, off the top of the block. Gent gets there. Katojo picks it up. Looked as though it was underneath, but the point drops to the floor as Mexico finds a way to side out. It's 5-3. Esquivel back to serve. 5-3 the advantage for Mexico. Passed up by off the arms there of Henson and out of play. As Sofia Zabjak's going to come back onto the floor here for Sol Henson. And it's 6-3. Zabjak will come onto the floor and take on the responsibilities of floor captain. Deep float serve, passed up by Matthews. Katojo on the step around, and a great swing by Maya Bukovcan. Pulls Canada back within 2. It's 6-4. And now Zabjak back to serve. Trying to pull Canada to within 1. It's a great serve. Shallow float. Kept alive. Forearm set goes in tight, having to adjust as Matthews just tips it over. And a roll shot into the tape. No touch called on the Canadian block. They're back within 1. So that off-speed shot there for Canada pulls the defense in tight to the net. And with less real estate to work with there, didn't quite get the set out that they were looking for. And everything moving a little bit slower on that sequence. Good forearm high ball set, and a great side out though that time on a swing by Isabella Ocampo. 7-5 the lead for Mexico as we approach the 5th set changeover. Naomi Cruz. Float serve, passed up by Gent. Katojo on the step again to Bukovcan off the top of the block this time. Perimeter defense keeps it alive for Mexico, but an attacking error on the swing by Ocampo. As this joust match continues back and forth. Two teams so evenly matched here. And have put on a great performance here at the arc. Bukovcan to serve. Float serve. Out of system ball upcoming. Stays on top of it though. It's a good swing, but it's dug up well by Bell. Recycles. As the block is there, Wasutik can't get it to go, and the point goes to Mexico. They're up 8-6 at the 5th set changeover. Second half of this 5th set on its way here now, with Mexico up by 2 at 8-6. Float serve upcoming. It's a deep float, passed up though by Zabjak. To the left side, Matthews straight down the line. Emerson Matthews again. 5 or 6 times so far in this match. She's absolutely buried a ball on that left side, turns down the line on that one. Back within 1, it's 8-7. Remy Katojo to the line. Backhands for Canada, 3 swings in the front. And that one's gonna skate out the back as the serve from Katojo continues to float. Can't quite catch the dip. And it's a service error, it's 9-7 for Mexico. Tanguma, back to serve. Off the arms there of Matthews, Katojo gets there. Matthews swings away off the block this time. Set to the left side, finds the baseline. Point goes to Mexico, it's 10-7. Timeout, Canada. So 3-point advantage here for Mexico. Again, the medal rounds taking place tomorrow. The bronze medal match will take place at 2 o'clock Eastern time. And the gold medal match to follow, scheduled for 4 o'clock, but of course will be contingent on the length of the previous match. And the 6th place match will take place at 12 noon to start off the day. USA awaits the winner here. The Dominican awaits the loser. And Puerto Rico, Costa Rica will start us off tomorrow, and Venezuela securing the 5th place finish at the tournament with a victory today. 10-7 coming out of the timeout. Mexico leads. Tanguma. Deep float serve, passed up by Zabjak. Katojo to the left side. Matthews tips this time. Set to the pipe. Swings away off the block. And what a set to the pipe, and a great conversion out of the back row by Isabella Ocampo. Off the hands of the block set on pipe defense, but so tough to predict coming out of the back row when the block gets a touch on that one. Off the arms there, Katojo. High ball set to the left side. Bell off the block, gets recycled. Bell will have to try to convert, goes again on the free ball. High ball set, comes inside, dumped over. And what a time for that from Naomi Lepe. Timeout taken, Canada. 12-7. As again, Lepe feeling the momentum shifting in Mexico's favor. And knowing that not a ton of margin of error on the Canadian side. Maybe anticipating a little tenseness on the defense. And goes over on 2 for the dump. 12-7 the advantage, 3 points to push here for Mexico. But Canada still very much in striking distance, 5 points to make up here. They'll have to do so coming out of this timeout. Stojanovic gonna come onto the floor for Sydney Bell. Aitana Tanguma continuing to serve here for Mexico. Passed up by Matthews. High ball out of system there by Gent. Stojanovic with the attacking error. Point goes to Mexico, 13-7. See if Canada can get a clean ball on serve receive here. Float serve upcoming by Tanguma. Passed up, Katojo with a one-handed set, has to adjust, can't get there. Point goes to Mexico. Match point here for Mexico with a spot in the gold medal match on the line. 14-7. 7 match point opportunities here for Mexico. But starts with 1 on defense here for Canada. Can they side out here? Tanguma with a float serve into the net to get one back. Service error, deficit down to 6. And that'll bring Emerson Matthews. He's had an outstanding match here for Canada. She'll come to the service line. Matthews. Deep float serve. Pulls Lepe off the net to the outside, swings through and a block. Wasutik Stojanovic right back, and it's 14-9. Huge block for Canada. Serve again here by Matthews. Float serve. Set comes in tight to the left side, off the swing, no touch on the block, out of play. Point to Canada. We'll see if Mexico will take a timeout. They will do so. They'll take it, settle things down, and stall the momentum built up for Canada. So back-to-back points for the Canadians. Have forced a timeout here. But an outstanding matchup here. Obviously still a lot left to be decided here, but an excellent match here in the semifinal between two outstanding teams, Mexico and Canada. And coming out of the timeout here now, Canada looking to extend the match. Mexico looking to side out and punch their ticket to the finals. Matthews. Back to serve. And it's a deep serve receive here for Mexico. Float serve again, goes high off the platform. It's going to be a scramble, free ball back over. Matthews in tight, Katojo adjusts. Able to keep it with and stay in system, push to the outside, and a block again, but it's kept up defensively. Back to the left side, roll this time. Katojo picks up second ball in tight to the net, having to adjust to Zabjek, but kept alive again. Back in system, Zabjek swings away. Can't quite find the baseline. Set to the C ball, swings through. Great dig though by Katojo. Kept alive, Zabjek turns on it. Doesn't quite get a ton of pace. Mexico back in system, swings through the block. And Mexico closes out the fifth set. They take it 15-10 and have qualified for tomorrow's gold medal match against the United States with a 5-set thriller. 19-25, 25-19, 24-26, 25-16, and 15-10. And an absolutely incredible matchup here in Kingston. Full credit goes to both teams for putting on an incredible game here. Heartbreak for Canada as they will play for bronze tomorrow. Elation for Mexico as they will get a rematch with the United States in what should be an excellent gold medal match between between Mexico and the United States. And Canada will play a rematch with the Dominican Republic and play for bronze. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening in what has been an outstanding thriller between Canada and Mexico in a 5-set matchup that went the distance. And Mexico comes away victorious and will play for gold, and you can catch it down here at the Arc tomorrow. Action starting at 12 noon. Bronze medal to follow at 2 o'clock, and the final to follow at 4. Join us down here at the Arc or online at CBC Sports. We'll see you then.